Our teams, one goal. Hempfield and Penn Manor go head-to-head in a battle of knowledge, speed, and strategy. Let the brain power begin on WGAL8 Brainbusters.
From Studio B, this is WGAL8 Brainbusters, celebrating 25 years. Now, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome as we continue round two of WGAL8 Brainbusters. It's another exciting matchup on Brainbusters with two Lancaster County powerhouses going face-to-face today, Hempfield and Penn Manor. They impressed us in their first appearance, and now they're back ready to think fast and aim high. One team moves forward, but both teams remind us why knowledge is true power. But before we jump into today's competition, let's shine a spotlight on the reason we're here today, the students. Let's take a moment to meet the teams representing their schools. First, it's a pleasure to welcome back the team from Hempfield High School. First, we have Paxton. He is a junior. Next, we have Dr. John Frick. He is an English teacher at Hempfield High School and a renowned coach of Brainbusters. The captain is Presley. He's a junior. Next, we have the alternate, Sophie. She is a senior. And finally, we have Liam. He is a senior. Welcome back to the Hempfield High School Brainbusters team. And now it's a pleasure to welcome back the Penn Manor Brainbusters team. First, we have Liam. He is our first player, and he is a sophomore. Next to Liam is Eliza. She is a junior, and she is today's alternate. We have Seth next. He is the captain. He is a senior. Next, we have Mr. Chris Meyer. He is one of the coaches, social studies teacher, economics, world history, and art history, and the Lancaster Lebanon Quiz Bowl coordinator. And finally, we have the last of the players is Natalie, and she is a junior. And of course, not being seen here today is Madame Angelica Körner, le professeur de français, the professor, the teacher of French and German at Penn Manor. Welcome back to the Penn Manor High School Brainbusters team. Okay, teams, you know what to do. You know how to play. Here comes today's opening round. We have, of course, 10-point questions. No penalty for an incorrect response. Pick up those signaling buttons, and let's use them frequently, beginning now. In April 2025, NASA announced a delay in its Artemis 3 mission, pushing back the planned landing. What celestial body is the target? Paxton.
The moon.
The moon is the target of this historic mission. This African river is formed by two tributaries called the White and the Blue.
The Nile.
Liam.
The Nile.
The Nile is the 4,000-mile long river that flows by Cairo to the Mediterranean Sea, and that gets 10 points on the board for Penn Manor. His two important novels are The Castle and The Trial. Who is this 20th century Czech Presley?
Kafka.
Kafka, Franz Kafka is this Czech writer. Yes, the Grand Coulee Dam is the biggest source of hydroelectric power in the United States, located on the largest U.S. river that flows into the Pacific. What northwestern Paxton?
Colorado.
No, sorry. What northwestern river is this, Penn Manor? Liam.
Columbia.
The Columbia River is the correct answer. It is by far the best chemical solvent known and dissolves more substances. Seth.
Water.
Water. The common compound, of course, is water, the universal solvent. In 1865, this amendment to the Constitution abolished slavery. Seth.
13th.
The 13th is the amendment. This hard, dense form of limestone was the favorite material of sculptors and architects during the Renaissance. Presley.
Marble.
Marble is correct. The Challenger Deep lies at the bottom of the deepest trough. Seth.
The Mariana Trench.
The Marianas Trench is the 11,000 feet below the Pacific Ocean, caused by a lack of vitamin D. This condition results in weak bones that do not develop properly. Liam.
Osteoporosis.
No, sorry, incorrect. What is this vitamin deficiency? Well, we stumped you on rickets. And now, here comes today's audio question. Please buzz in when you hear the tone.
For years, we've been told that everything we fund and support is in the name of our shared democratic values.
Seth?
Hakeem Jeffries.
No, sorry. Paxton.
Booker.
J.D. Vance. was the correct answer. It's a red-hot mixture of minerals, sulfur gases, and water deep in the Earth's crust. When it reaches the surface, it becomes lava. Liam.
Magma.
Magma is the correct answer. Appropriately, it's a trilogy. The final two books are 20 years after and the Viscount of Bragelonne. What age, Natalie?
The Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers is the 1844 novel by Alexandre Dumas. Baldwin, Yamaha, Steinway. What musical instruments do you all said?
Piano.
Pianos is what they all make, yes. In 1925, they were selling pictures of monkeys outside the courtroom in Dayton, Tennessee. What teacher of evolution was on trial, Seth?
Scopes.
John Scopes, the monkey trial. You are correct. It runs from Bowling Green to 242nd Street, passing by City Hall, Times Square, and Central Park. What is New York City's Great White Way? Presley.
Central Park.
Nope, sorry. Penn Manor? We stumped you on Broadway. On Mount Rushmore, he's between Jefferson and Lincoln. As president, he was between McKinley and Taft. Who was he, Presley?
Roosevelt.
Which one?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes, of course, yes. At All Saints Church on All Hallows Eve, 1517, he posted an invitation to debate a number of, Presley again.
Luther.
Martin Luther is the German religious reformer. To a chemist, it's a mixture of phosphate and carbonate of lime with a little gelatin. To a biologist, it's a secretion of certain bivalves. What is this precious gem? Presley.
Diamond.
No, sorry. Natalie.
Pearl?
It's a pearl, yes. After a few drinks and a game of 9 pins, a hen-pecked husband takes a 20-year nap. In what tale by Washington Irving? Natalie again.
Rip Van Winkle.
You are correct again. The first character to appear in this 1904 play is Nana the dog, who turns down the beds and turns on the bathwater. What is this play by James M. Barrie? Natalie.
Peter Pan.
You're correct, yes. About 1,900 miles long, it empties into the Gulf of Mexico near Brownsville, Texas, at Matamoros, Mexico. Paxton.
Rio de Janeiro.
No, sorry. What is this great river?
Rio
Liam.
Grande.
The Rio Grande is the correct answer, yes. In 1807, he traveled from New York City to Albany on the Clermont, the first commercially successful steamboat in the United States. Who was the inventor, Natalie?
Fulton.
Robert Fulton is the correct answer. If you have an appetite for appetite, do you want something animal, vegetable, or mineral? Presley.
Mineral.
Mineral, yes, it's a colorful form of calcium phosphate, in fact. The second half of this novel was a sequel to the first, written 10 years later. In it, the title hero and his page, Sancho Panza. Natalie.
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote is this man of La Mancha. Napoleon spent almost 7 years in exile on the island of St. Helena. Name any one of those lonely years. Not in time. It was 1815 to 1821. And that sound, of course, signals the end of our opening round. Both teams are off to a strong start with scores of 60 to 150. But we have a lot more game coming up, including the one-on-one rapid fire and 60-second team lightning rounds. So we'll be right back right after these messages.
WGAL8 Brainbusters will return after this. The final 4 teams in the WGAL8 Brainbusters tournament will win cash grants. The 3rd and 4th place teams will receive $1,000 each. The 2nd place team will receive $3,000. And the WGAL8 Brainbusters champions will receive $5,000 in grant money. Now, back to your host, Rich Rosen.
Hello, everybody. You are watching WGAL8 Brainbusters, and it's time now to turn up the intensity with our one-on-one rapid fire. Quick thinking, fast buzzers, and no teammates to lean on. First, let's start with our first player, Paxton. Paxton, welcome back. So our question for round 2 is, what do you do for fun outside of school?
I really like to cook and garden outside of school, using the ingredients that I grow in my garden to make the food that I like. And then I also just like to play video games.
That's fantastic. Do you share your food?
Yes, obviously.
Okay, and obviously you're coming from your garden, it must be very healthful. So you must be a healthy eater, so good for you. Liam, what about you? What do you do for fun when the books are closed?
I like to spend time with my friends and family.
Nice. And do you play games? Do you just chat? And
Sometimes we play games. Sometimes we watch sports together.
Excellent. Okay, good for you. Well, Liam and Paxton, I hope you're going to have fun with these 3 questions as we put you 2 one-on-one. Eye of Newton, toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. In which Shakespearean play will you find this treat? Paxton.
Othello.
No, sorry. Liam, any idea? Liam?
Macbeth?
Macbeth, it's where it's cooked up by the 3 witches. Good for you. Our long national nightmare is over. Our Constitution works. What president spoke these words in his inaugural address in 1974? Paxton?
Nixon.
No, sorry. Liam.
Ford?
Ford did. For Nixon, yes. And finally, in accordance with the Gregorian calendar, the 21st century began January 1st, 2001, and will last until what date and year? Liam.
January 1st, 3001?
No, sorry. Paxton. Paxton.
January 1st, 2101.
No, sorry. It's going to last until December 31st, 2100. January 1st, then will become the next century. Now let's meet our 2 captains. Presley, welcome back. Nice to have you here. Did very well in that first round of play. What do you do for fun outside of school, besides study, obviously?
Yeah, so I play guitar outside of school, and if I'm not doing that, spend time with friends, family.
Nice. Do you take lessons for guitar?
No.
You just sort of
Yeah.
self-learn?
Yep,
Oh, nice.
self-learn. Yep.
All right, the captain from Penn Manor. Seth, what about you? What do you do for fun outside of school?
Well, I do a lot of stuff for fun outside of school. One of my favorites is just listening to music. I gotta love that. I do like to learn a lot. I spend a lot of my time studying outside of school, but I always make sure to leave a couple of minutes for video games.
Of course, have to have video game time. Seth and Presley, our 2 captains, let's put you 2 one-on-one. Although he opposed it, Ronald Reagan signed legislation designating the second Monday in January a federal holiday. Who does it honor, Seth?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, you are correct. I'm going to give it to you because you got it in just in time. At its closest point, it is less than 2.5 miles from Alaska. What country is it? Seth again.
Russia.
Russia is correct. And finally, Jonathan Harker travels through the Borgo Pass to bring the deed to Carfax Abbey to its new owner. Who is the new owner? A Romanian nobleman in Bram Stoker's novel. Presley.
Count Dracula?
Count Dracula is correct. All right, 70 to 190. Let's meet our 2 captains. First, our 3rd players in today's match, Liam. I got so wrapped up in the excitement. Liam, our 3rd player from Hempfield, it's nice to have you here. What do you do for fun outside of school?
For fun outside of school, I play the piano and the trumpet, and I also like to read and play video games.
So do you take lessons, piano lessons? And
I take piano lessons, and then trumpet I play for school.
good for you. All right, and thanks for sharing with us. Natalie, what about you? What do you do outside of school?
I really love reading, and I also play the piano, and I like to hang out with my pets. I have 2 rabbits.
Well, in reading, it obviously shows because you've done very well with literature question throughout this tournament. Natalie and Liam, let's put you 2 one-on-one. Of the 13 countries in South America, 2 are named for men important in their history. One is Bolivia. What's the other? And we stumped you on Colombia for Christopher Columbus. Patton, Bradley, and Eisenhower were generals during World War II. In what war did Generals Marion, Cornwallis, and Gates fight? Natalie?
Revolutionary War.
The American Revolutionary War is correct. And finally, it includes the world's highest uninterrupted fall of water, 2,648 feet. Liam.
Angel Falls.
Angel Falls is this Venezuelan tourist attraction. You are correct. 80 to 200. Let's pick up the pace now with today's 6-second Team Lightning Round, where teamwork and speed are the keys to success. Now, Presley, your team is behind at this point, so you have the privilege of selecting first among these 3 quizzes. We have Too Many Cats, Potpourri, and Chinese Checkers.
What do you think? We're going to go Chinese checkers.
Chinese checkers. In this game of Chinese checkers, we're going to check your knowledge of China and things Chinese. So, Presley, I take your answer as the team's answer. Paxton and Liam are ready to help you along. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. So good luck, and here we go. China is the largest country on this continent.
Asia.
Asia's correct. We used this Chinese invention on July 4th.
Fireworks.
Correct. China's Cai Lun invented this writing material almost 1,800 years
Paper.
ago. Paper is correct. These eating utensils have been used in China for more
Chopsticks.
than 5,000 years. Chopsticks is correct. A panda can eat 5 tons of this tall
Bamboo.
resin to you. Bamboo, yes. Most of this 1,500-mile-long fortification.
Great Wall of China.
The Great Wall of China. Yes, in 2022, in 2026 is this year. Tiger. On what calendar?
Chinese zodiac.
The Chinese zodiac or the Chinese calendar? Yes. This 17-year-old Venetian came to China in the 13th century.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo, yes. These are 5 of these on the Chinese flag.
Stars.
There are stars, yes. He has been the president of China since 2013.
Xi Jinping.
You are correct. China's largest city, population 15
Beijing.
million. Shanghai. This 1998 Disney movie was based on a 6th century Chinese poem.
Mulan.
Mulan is correct. What name was given to the home of the emperor in Beijing? Forbidden City. Very well done. 11 correct, guys. So you have 110 points came your way. Seth, it's up to you with the 2 remaining quizzes. We have Too Many Cats and Potpourri.
I think potpourri might be better.
We're going to go with potpourri.
Potpourri it is. It may be big, it may be bad, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just that familiar variety of people, places, and things. Seth, I take your answer as the team's answer. Liam and Natalie are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. So good luck, and here we go. What legendary outlaw lived in Sherwood Forest near Nottingham?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood is correct. In what year did the Japanese attack the naval base at Pearl Harbor?
1941.
That is correct. Who married Camilla Parker Bowles in April 2005?
King Charles.
King Charles did, yes. What scientific unit measures the loudness of a sound?
Decibel.
Decibel, yes, is correct. What is the largest mountain range in North America?
The Rockies.
Rockies, yes. Which U.S. president was elected to 4 terms in office?
Roosevelt. FDR.
FDR, yes. On the Christian calendar, what is the Sunday before Easter Sunday?
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, yes. Which U.S. state was the subject of a 1943 Rodgers and Hammerstein musical?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. What kind of iron is used to make pipes, pots, pans, and bathtubs?
Cast iron.
Cast iron, yes. In mathematics, what sign indicates the square root of a number?
Radical.
Radical, yes. What is the name of Don Quixote's servant and squire?
Sancho Panza.
Sancho Panza.
Sancho Panza is correct. What legendary outlaw was killed in New Mexico in 1881 by Sheriff Pat Garrett?
Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid. What holiday celebrates the Mexican victory at the Battle of Puebla? And that was Cinco de Mayo. 12 correct, guys. 120 points came your way. 190 to 320. It's time now to reveal today's bonus Brain Buster category. Our teams will place their wagers from 0 to 25 points based on how well they think they know civil liberties. So we'll have the bonus Brain Buster and, of course, the all-important Final Frenzy when WGAL 8 Brain Busters continues following this.
Watch all this season's episodes of WGAL 8 Brain Busters anytime on WGAL.com. Our online home also includes our tournament schedule and a chance to learn more about the show and host Rich Rosen. Scan the QR code with your phone or go to WGAL.com and click on Brain Busters.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to our game between Hempfield and Penn Manor. It's now time for today's bonus Brain Buster. Now, during our break, our teams place their wagers anywhere from 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of civil liberties. Now let's head into the News 8 newsroom with Caitlin Smith for today's bonus Brain Buster. Caitlin.
Thanks, Rich. Now here is your bonus Brain Buster. Derived from the Latin for "you may have the body," this fundamental legal writ is a crucial safeguard against unlawful detention, requiring a person under arrest to be brought before a court or judge, especially to secure the person's release unless lawful grounds are shown for their detention. What is this vital protection of individual liberty? Again, derived from Latin for "you may have the body," this fundamental legal writ is a crucial safeguard against unlawful detention, requiring a person under arrest to be brought before a court or judge, especially to secure the person's release unless lawful grounds are shown for their detention. What is this vital protection of individual liberty? Good luck with your answer. Now back to Studio B. Rich?
Thank you, Caitlin. Okay, it looks like both teams have written down their answer. Do they know one of the bedrock principles of justice and freedom? Presley, let's begin with you. Did you come up with habeas corpus? You did, with a 25-point wager. Good for you. Congratulations. Well done. Seth, what about you? Habeas corpus? Habeas corpus, also a 25-point wager. I'm really proud of both of those teams. Good for you for knowing that. 215 to 345. Hempfield, you've got your work cut out for you, but you can do it because now we're heading into today's final frenzy with 20-point questions. Pick up those signaling buttons. Let's use them frequently, beginning now. The town of Lancaster, California, carved grooves in one of its roads so that they play the William Tell Overture when cars drive over them at 55 miles per hour. Who wrote the William Tell Overture? Natalie?
Rossini.
Rossini did. You are correct. Officially, it's US 495, a 64-mile freeway that circles Washington, D.C. What is the nickname for this?
Beltway.
Liam.
Beltway.
The Beltway, or the Capitol Beltway. The biblical tales of Judith and Holofernes, David and Goliath, and St. John the Baptist all end in the most unusual and brutal way. What happens? Liam.
The underdog wins?
No, sorry. Liam.
Decapitation.
The decapitation or the beheaded, yes. The Erie Canal connects Lake Erie and the Hudson River. What canal connects Lake Superior and Lake Huron? That's the Sault Ste. Marie. In your body, cells called osteoblasts and osteoclasts first create and then break down this kind of tissue. What part of your body includes these cells? Liam.
The bone?
The bones, yes. In 1911, he fired electrons into a tin sheet of gold and was startled to find that some of them bounced back. Who thus discovered the nucleus of an atom? Presley.
Rutherford?
Rutherford, Ernest Rutherford. The Witwatersrand, or simply the Rand, includes the world's largest gold field. In what African country is it located? Presley, again?
South Africa.
South Africa, correct again. His triangle is a geometric representation of the values. Liam.
Pythagoras.
No, sorry. Of his binomial coefficients. Each number in the triangle is the sum of the two numbers above it. Whose triangle is it? No, it's Pascal's. David Garrick, Sarah Bernhardt, Richard Burbage, and Sir Laurence Olivier were among the finest practitioners of their craft. What was their artistic field? Natalie?
Acting.
They're actors, yes, they're all acting or into drama. In 1964, this autobiographical play, After the Fall, became the first production at the New Lincoln Center, whose play was based on his marriage to Marilyn Monroe. Paxton. Ooh, sorry, take that as an incorrect answer. Penn Manor. We stumped you on Arthur Miller in 1929. It's 1929, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court swears in the new president, Herbert Hoover. Is this president? What former president is the Chief Justice? Liam.
Coolidge.
No, sorry. Paxton.
Taft.
William Howard Taft. It was the royal game of 16th century India in which ivory pawns traveled around. Seth.
Like Chaturanga?
No, sorry. And that's Parcheesi. Well, this now takes us to the end of the round and the end of the game. Congratulations, Penn Manor. They are heading back to round 3. But we hope to see you in just a few short moments for some final words.
Welcome back to WGAL8 Brainbusters, the Susquehanna Valley's longest-running high school quiz show, celebrating 25 years. Once again, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. And, well, that wraps it up. A well-deserved win for Penn Manor. They will continue their journey to our tournament. I want to say goodbye to Hempfield. Fantastic performance all through the tournament, and we have to say goodbye to you from start to finish. But coming up, we have two great teams, and that's Lampeter Strasburg versus Carlisle. Another two very strong powerhouses who are going to competing here. One team will move on to round 3. We hope to have the pleasure of your company next time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.